Hello, hello, guys. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. So, hey, everyone. My name is Shashank. I'm a data analyst working actually in Seattle right now. I work for a company in Seattle, Nordstrom, a major North American fashion retailer. Actually, I finally have proof that I work over there. Hey, others, great to see you, and thank you so much for being a YouTube member. Hey, Raw Vlogs, welcome everyone. Yeah, I know I haven't been live streaming a lot recently. It's mostly just because I've been getting ready for this move over here, but now that I moved in, we're going to get a lot more consistent with the videos. So, got moved into the new apartment. I don't really have any furniture or anything right now. Really, I just have I have a mattress. That's about it for now. The annoying thing is my desk is only coming in. It's only coming on like anytime from like Monday to Wednesday of next week. So I'm probably going to be working in coffee shops for a good section of it. The thing is, the apartment complex, I like emailed them. I'm like, hey, can I like ship furniture there earlier? That way it's like there on day one for me. And they were kind of like being very wishy-washy about it. But then like for the mattress, I'm like, well, I need to sleep somewhere on day one. So I just like ship that anyways. No, I mean, I guess I'll just wait a couple of days for it. Well, thank you guys so much for joining. My name is Shashank. I am a data analyst working in Seattle, Washington, and I actually moved here just today. So I'll give you guys the quick apartment tour. It's a pretty small studio apartment, but it's in it's in Belltown, so it's like in the center of the city. So as you guys can see, front door, bathroom, very simple, and it's just a studio apartment, so nothing that crazy. But it is really modern, really nice, and probably more than anything, the amenities are solid. They're really good at this complex. So I mean, I was a little bit concerned about the price of the rent, but at the end of the day, like with the number of amenities here, if I make any effort to even try using the amenities, then I think I'll make I'll be able to really justify the amount I'm spending on rent over here. So why did I move? I moved because I've been in Dallas for the last 14 years. And I want to be somewhere closer to, for lack of a better term, the broader tech sector. In which case, that's where Seattle is like really where that's at. Seattle or like San Francisco, obviously. And when I joined Nordstrom, I joined in like February or January of this year. A goal of mine was to move to the West Coast, and so yeah, here I am. All right. Welcome, everyone. Let me see if I can pull up my live stream on the YouTubes. Yeah, welcome, everyone. So if you guys also remember, I had really bad Wi-Fi back in my parents' house, and it seems to be better right now. I'm using this laptop, and I made sure to get good Wi-Fi, so... Nice, not bad. I'm a computer information systems major looking forward to joining the field. Awesome. Well, that's great. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. This is a live stream where I answer any questions you might have about analytics. Can you show the outside view? It's not going to look great right now only because of the... it's so dark. So my Thursday morning live stream I can do, and then it'll probably look better. But as you guys can see, it's a pretty solid view. Not bad at all. The apartment overall has better views. So I think I got kind of like one of the okay views in the apartment. But because if I was on the opposite side of the building, then I'd be able to see the ocean. And if I was on that side of the building, then I could see the that Seattle tower, I forgot the Space Needle. I'm not sure what I would see if I was on that side of the building. So I think, I got one of the worst sides of the building, but overall, it's like I'm very happy. I've been wanting to live in a tower for years at this point. It's just one of those things that I've like wanted to do forever. So I'm really glad I'm here. Yeah. I guess, but I won't really have it won't really feel like home until I have a desk and everything. So hopefully by the time you guys see me next week, I will have that set up. All right, Game Analyst, hello. What is the best sequence of learning topics for a beginner? Python, Excel, SQL, Tableau, Power BI. So I always recommend people learn a BI tool first, usually Power BI or Tableau. I have a tutorial of that on my channel. a free tutorial. Then I recommend people learn either SQL or Python, depending on what is more useful for the job that they have. Python is harder to learn, but you can do a lot more with it than you can with SQL. But SQL is easier to learn, and depending on the job, may or may not be what you're looking for. Thank you so much, Dimitru Brinza. It's a cool name. Where's the name from? It's a really cool name. So I would recommend learning Tableau or some BI tool. I picked Tableau in my, I have Tableau as a free tutorial on my channel because that's what I've used basically my entire career. Every company I've gone to uses Tableau, but Power BI is super, super popular too. I have a free Python tutorial on my channel as well, so I recommend that. And I also have a tutorial on SQL in my channel if you're interested in that. And I have a statistics tutorial if you're interested in that as well. But guys, also be on the lookout. I have a machine learning basics tutorial coming out in the near future. I know that we did a machine learning tutorial like in the hands-on machine learning book, but I'm going to have like a proper machine learning tutorial coming out in the near future. All right, welcome. Thank you so much, Max. Thank you so much. If I were to get an entry-level position as a data analyst, how difficult would it be to transition into data science engineering later in my career? It makes sense to do it, but it really just depends on your company how difficult it's going to be. But I am apparently on track to become a data scientist in the next couple of months. I just have to put in the work and like show them that I can do it, which I'm a data analyst right now. So I would say it's not at all impossible, but if you want kind of like the most foolproof way to do it, I would say a master's degree is probably the most foolproof way to do it. But I'm in a position right now to where like at least to get that data science role, a master's doesn't make too much sense for me because I've seen the curriculum in a lot of these master's degree programs and like it's not stuff I can't learn myself, quite honestly. So that's why I'd rather just get promoted into it. Thank you so much, Max. Thank you so much for the congratulations. Raw Vlogs, what's your view on the new MacBook for data science? I think it's a tremendous tool for data science. I think it's a bit overkill for most people, but I really want one. And I have a Chase Sapphire card. So anyone that has a Chase Sapphire card, I can probably show you guys. Like if you have like one of these cards, then the right now Chase is running a promotion where your points count 25% extra towards any Apple product. So like within their like store. So I'm actually thinking about buying one of those MacBooks using my points, which I get like a heavy discount on it, you know? So that's the move right now. Dimitru Brinza, how much is the rent for? So after promotions, they're running some promotions and stuff. Over the course of 12 months, my rent is like $1,860. So $1,800.60. So, or sorry, $1,860, my bad. So, you know, I mean, it is high, but it's not, it's very much manageable for me. I'll put it that way. Baki Billa, great to see you. Hey dude, how was the move? I started Google certification. But I didn't care how I feel about R versus Python. Any thoughts? Okay. Okay, so as far as the Google certification is awesome. The only thing I'd say is that it teaches R instead of Python. They're both tremendous languages, and if you're at a company that favors one language over the other, just learn the language that they favor. That being said, I am personally in favor of Python more than R, only because if you decide not to pursue the data analyst or data science route, a lot of software engineering jobs will use Python, and it's a lot more similar to other programming languages, which is why I would recommend Python over R myself. But they're both great languages. But yeah, I'm not going to pretend I'm one of those people that says they're both like, I don't have an opinion on which one you should learn. I definitely have an opinion you should learn Python. There's Bolero. Let's see what's up. I have recently started studying your ML videos. Thank you. Once I complete chapter 2, what other data sets should I go for? Like Titanic prediction. So I think Titanic prediction is a great starting point, but I would try something else only because Titanic, like everyone uses it. So try something else around you, but Kaggle has a ton of great data sets you can use. Max 4K, thanks for the insights, Sean. Good luck on getting a position as a data science. Thank you. Shankar Nath, please tell me some best platforms on internet to learn Microsoft Excel, Advanced, and VBA for data analysis. So I unfortunately can't answer that because I am not that great at Excel. I know like pivot tables, VLOOKUPs, HLOOKUPs, stuff like that. You know, like your basic like advanced Excel, you know, like when people call stuff like advanced Excel. But I personally can't recommend it because I don't use Excel in an advanced capacity in my job. I use it every day, but I usually use it just to like store data temporarily and stuff like that, or like just to quickly look at data. I wouldn't say I'm at all an Excel expert, so unfortunately I can't answer your question. I don't know VBA myself. Dimitro Brinza, I'm from the Republic of Moldova. Cool. Game analyst, thanks for the answer. Of course. To switch up the PvPer, not bad for in the city. Yeah, at the end of the day, especially considering it's Seattle, the rate is great. It's like 450 something square feet, so it's not big. But I think for just myself, it's very manageable, and especially for my first apartment, I think it's the right move. Like, I want to start small and then kind of like expand as I need to. Because just decorating this apartment is going to be a very stressful experience for me because I hate shopping, honestly. I just can never choose. Like, I'm always concerned about getting like great value for my money, which is why the whole shopping experience in general is just very like stressful for me. So I think a smaller apartment was definitely the right move. The one thing I was afraid of is that it would be smaller than it is. It's bigger than I thought it would be, which is good. Like, I was afraid I wouldn't be able to host anyone over here, but I think if I'm like smart with the space, I totally could. Because they also like the closet's really small and the washer dryer is like stuffed away over there. But I think like this area over here, I could like host people, which like I'm a big host. I love hosting people. So you know that's definitely something I'm excited to do in the future. By the way, if anyone is in the Seattle area, feel free to let me know. I'm looking to like make friends and like get to know some people in this area. I know one person reached out to me on LinkedIn. I'm gonna reach back out to them now that I've actually moved. But yeah, let me know. Let's see. You hate shopping but work in retail analytics. How ironic. Yep. That's yeah. I can't. I just can't bring myself to make a decision shopping. There's so much choice out there. It's so difficult. I just want someone to tell me what to do. AN75, how come you moved? New job? No, so it's the same job, but I've been meaning to move to Seattle for a while. I'm supposed to relocate to Seattle eventually for the job, and they keep pushing back the deadline, and I kind of just wanted to like get on with my life and go into my first apartment and everything. So yeah, I just decided to move a little bit early on my own dime. The company would have compensated me if I moved in February, but like my move-in costs weren't that bad really, because I wasn't coming from another apartment, so it's not like I had a lot of stuff to move or like movers to pay and everything. Like I was able to take everything with me on the plane. So Edwin Cortez, I just visited Seattle, so pretty cool to see you're moving there. Yeah, of course. It's a cool city. I think I like it. I think I'm honestly surprised at like the number of homeless people and people that like seem to be on like all kinds of like drugs and the amount of like open drinking I see here. Like, and not like people just like chilling out and stuff, but like I've seen people with like jugs of wine. It's been day one, and I've seen people with like just jugs of wine, just like downing that in the middle of the day. Yeah, the state of homelessness in the city is definitely very, very sad. But outside of that, the city, I think it's super cool. Outside of that, and obviously, like, housing prices are, like, insane in the city. So, AM, 2 thumbs up for practical statistics work, though. Once finals will be done. Once finals done, we'll finish. Thanks. Of course. And be on the lookout. I have a machine learning course coming out soon. Again, completely for free. Baki Billy, you mentioned you're a data analyst. Shouldn't the next move be data engineer then scientist? How do I make the jump from analyst to scientist? Well, okay, so I would actually say a data analyst and a data scientist are more similar than either of those two things are to a data engineer. Mostly because it is a data engineer is more of an IT job kind of, in the sense that like you're working with all these back-end systems to make sure data flows and is available to the data scientist and the data analyst. So I would actually think that a data scientist is more similar to a data analyst, because a data scientist analyzes data. They just, for lack of, just to be blunt, they just use way more advanced techniques to do it. So how do I make the jump to scientist? Learn Python or R, basically some programming language. And from there, I would say start learning statistics and machine learning. Those are kind of the big skills. I'd say like statistics, machine learning, and a programming language are probably the big skills that data scientists have that data analysts tend not to have. So I would recommend doing that. Jeffrey Go, hi. Nice to know you. Of course, nice to meet you too. Any opinions on HackerRank? I think HackerRank has some great SQL questions. I highly recommend it for if you're practicing for a SQL interview. Like a SQL technical interview. There's Bolero. Can we have a live session for ML where you can go through a data from Kaggle? Yes, 100%. So the reason I haven't done a live coding thing in a while is because I was at my parents' house, and unfortunately, the uploading speed of the Wi-Fi over there is really, really bad. Anyone that's seen any of my live streams where I tried to do a computer, like I try to do it from the computer over there, will know just how bad the quality is. But now that I'm in my own apartment, I made sure to get solid internet, and it looks like everything is working. I'm able to upload from this computer while at the same time watch the live stream on my phone to just make sure I'm not missing anything. So yeah, I will definitely do that. Josh, love your content. Thank you so much, man. Thanks for the support. AN75, do you think it's important to be interested / passionate about the company you work for and the data you analyze, or is the money more important? So I think it depends on what position you are in life. So for example, I graduated college with a pretty solid amount of college debt, and I think at that point in my life, I think I made the right decision to put money above everything. As far as I need to get as much as I could, that way I could pay off my student debt. But then after I paid off that debt, the type of company I work for became significantly more important to me, and there were certain things I was looking for in whatever job I was going to enter. Not to say I didn't like my previous companies. I'm actually lucky enough to have liked working at every company I've worked, or working at every company I've worked at. Usually because of the bosses more so than the company itself. But luckily I found a job at Nordstrom, which is that's the type of company I was looking for, and that was a decision I made after I secured myself financially. So I secured myself financially at my first two companies, and then I came here, and I get paid significantly more here, but I work my way up here. So I would say it depends on you. It depends on your position in life. I would say don't be ashamed to do stuff for money, especially if you really need it. If you have a lot of debt or something, it's important to secure your future first. And if that's your priority, I think that's perfectly fine. But I think you should have a passion for your company when you can. And there is a great quote by Gary Tan called "Learn, Earn, or Quit," where basically you want to either be learning or earning at a job. If you're not doing either of those things, then you need to quit. And ideally, you're doing both at the same time. So I would say at Nordstrom, I'm lucky enough to be doing both at the same time. I get to work with a lot of really talented people, data scientists and data analysts, where I learn a lot from them. I get to make a very solid salary. I have no complaints about the salary they pay me. And no intention of quitting here. Really like it. Max Florke, the homeless problem in the Pacific Northwest is really bad, unfortunately. No, it's pretty bad over here. It's a little bit ironic because you would think with the politics over here, people would be more, they'd be more, concerned about such a massive poverty problem in the city, but I'm not aware of any effective policy that's being passed over here to actually handle it. Because the thing is, once you have that much of a as much of a homeless problem as you do here, it's not it becomes a problem of public policy, and public policy needs to deal with it. But yeah, no, it's definitely unfortunate. AN75, would you work for FANG but only on a 12-month contract? It depends on the FANG company, right? There's some FANG companies I'm not as interested in as others. And I think for me, the real next move, whenever I'm ready to make it, would be to join an automobile company. The only problem is a lot of them don't pay very well. So maybe I'd do one of the self-driving startups or something like that. But FANG is interesting because it very much is if you get the stamp on your resume, people do care. It does matter. But I'm also advanced enough in my career. I've worked enough years to where that's becoming less and less important to me personally. But I'm not saying no for sure. Edwin Cortez, is business analyst with data focus an okay way to start a data analyst career? 100%. That is a great way to start the career. I started off as a business analyst. My first job, my title was business analyst. The work was a bit more closer to what a data analyst does, but my first job was definitely a business analyst. AN75, are you going to watch the Cricket World Cup final tomorrow? Yeah, I guess why not? I have nothing to do tomorrow, so definitely will. Actually, because I don't have a desk, I can't spend time in my apartment because there's literally nowhere for me to sit because I don't have a chair. So I just have to stand or lie down basically, or sit on my bed, which isn't very comfortable either. There's no way to support my back here. I get my desk chair on Sunday, so I'm probably going to spend very little time in my apartment tomorrow just because, if I can't sit, I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do here. Although I am in the process of building out a bar over here, so I want to like have like I want to like get into like just like amateur bartending, where I like actually like make cocktails and stuff like that. And if you guys have any like suggestions as to like how I should start off with that, let me know. I was thinking about just getting a gin, a vodka, a whiskey, and a tequila. Tequila's not really for me; it's more for my girlfriend. Actually, I don't really like tequila. But that, and then some like mixers that I could like shuffle between the three things and kind of just build it out from there. But if you guys have any suggestions, let me know. Where's the boba? Don't have it today. I just moved to Seattle today, so have to go find a good boba shop. Shunk or not, mostly how data analysts submit their work to company or employees, like by storytelling or by doing presentation or documents. I'd say all three. Sometimes you give your presentation to your boss, who then gives it to higher ups. Or sometimes, I'd say probably the biggest ways they do it is either through a BI dashboard or a PowerPoint presentation. Those are probably the two biggest ways they do it. Diego Velez, is it hard to get visa sponsorship as a data analyst in the USA? So unfortunately, I don't feel I'm very qualified to answer that. I have mentioned before that I will bring on someone in future live streams who can probably answer those questions better than I can. I'm a U.S. citizen, so it's just not something I've ever had to experience, and I don't think I would do the question justice by trying to answer it with the information that I have. Guy Thompson, great to see you. Great to see you. For anyone that isn't aware, Guy lives in Fort Worth, and me and him like met up at one point a couple of weeks ago. Really cool guy. All right, any good suggestions for learning JS? I need a refresher, and there's a lot of options. So for me, whenever I use JS, so JS as a JavaScript, I use it as part of Google's app script. And usually I just like kind of, because I know Python, I just like look up how to, like I think of all my logic in Python, and then I'm just like, how do you do this thing in JS? So, I mean, for me, I just use Mozilla's development page. They have like an entire JavaScript page that I just reference for everything. But I wouldn't say I use JS in any like advanced capacity. Ade Satya Wahana, great to see you, man. Love your content. Any ideas of AI ML implementation for auditing? My manager seems to like to see some real products to be convinced. So Ade, this is a really interesting question. Give us a couple more details and let's see if we can actually help you out. This is a really interesting question. Any standing desk recommendations? Well, the one I ordered is I don't know. No, I don't want to. No, I can't go to my Amazon and I'll share my address on accident. Let's see if I can find the desk I bought on Amazon. Let us see. So I got the FlexiSpot EC1 55-inch by 28-inch electric stand-up desk. Let's see, I think. Yeah, so this one was $327 total. So it's a FlexiSpot desk is the one I got. AN75, how do you keep on top of the latest data science trends, new topics? Are you part of a group or something, or is it all through your job? So luckily for me, keeping up with like the latest stuff is not necessarily important quite yet. I need to do a better job at that. I would say I probably don't do the best job at it, but honestly, a lot of the value that any of us derive in our like corporate jobs doesn't come from knowing the newest and greatest thing immediately. So, AN70 or Guy Thompson says he loves his Uplift desk, but they are pricey. I spend 80% of my time at home with it though. Yeah, I was looking at the Uplift desk, but it is quite expensive. That's what I was like, you know what, I'm moving, I'm paying you rent and everything. Let me like get like a cheaper standing desk. I'll probably use it for like a year or something. And you know, maybe I absolutely love it. There's nothing to change about it. But if I don't like it, then I can like sell it for like, you know, $150. You know, just eat the $150 loss and then like, you know, get a more expensive standing desk. Mohammed El Sayed, hey, welcome. What do you think of data analyst contract jobs? So I guess it depends on what you mean by that, right? I think that as a full-time or as like your full-time thing, I think contract jobs are for a certain type of person. For example, not someone like me. For me, I need a salary job because the benefits of a salary job are just amazing. Like, it's going to be you're not easy to fire. You're not easy to get rid of. It takes a company a lot of effort to get rid of like full-time employees, even in right-to-work states like Texas, because you can still bring civil cases against employers. So employers are not going to just fire people left, right, and center. But contractors, you know, you can like axe them immediately, and a lot of times contractors are not paid great rates the way a full-time employee might be. A lot of times they are. So I think As a full-time job, it's not something for me, but someone else might like it a lot better. And I know some people that like love being contractors. Most people I know that do contracting and they like love it, it's usually because they get paid a lot more to do it. You pay for the flexibility to get rid of people whenever you want to. As far as like doing them on like Upwork and stuff like that, I actually, so I, for anyone that's not aware, I have like a quote unquote like consulting company I run. I mean, it's just me doing consulting myself, but I'm actually thinking about quitting that only because, or not thinking about quitting it. I am like actively quitting it. And I'm letting go of all but 2 clients only because it takes up, even though it like nets me a decent amount of cash, it takes up so much of my time and I don't get to like build what I want to build. And I'm not building, for lack of a better term, like a future with that, in that like I'm just doing work and then charging an hourly rate for it, and I have money now, but I can't like do anything with that except like, I mean, I can invest it and stuff, but like, I'm not like building a product or like building, in this case, like my YouTube channel or something. So I'm actually letting go of my contracting jobs in order to spend a lot more time on YouTube. Evan Home, when choosing a job early in your career, what would be your priority, pay or learning? So Evan, I think again, it comes down to the question of, probably the most obvious question is, do you have a lot of debt? If you have a lot of debt, then I would say prioritizing money is probably just a better move for your life. That's my opinion. I'm a very strong believer in eliminating high interest debt as fast as possible in your life, because it'll just be a ball and chain for potentially decades if you don't get rid of it fast enough. So if you graduated with a lot of high interest student loan debt like I did, I would say money is like the number one concern. And if you can learn, then power to you. Hopefully, I was lucky enough to be in a job where I was able to do both. That being said, I think if money is not at all an issue for you, as in like you don't have any debt or anything, and you had to prioritize one or the other, then learning is definitely much more important. So I think it depends. Let's see. Oh, Guy Thompson. Yeah. So Guy, I was hoping that you'd talk about it a lot. So I was talking to Guy. He does contracting. He actually seems to love it. So I think Guy is like a great person to ask for the positive opinions on contracting, because he really does seem to like it when I talked to him a couple of weeks ago. Diego Velez, have you used a lot of Google Analytics during your career? I have not actually. Thank you for answering my previous question. Of course. The recorded life. Do you plan on making more statistical or machine learning videos? So I do plan on making more statistics and machine learning videos, but I'm not going to be following the books anymore. The books were really just to get like a primer into the subjects. But now that I like know what to look for, I don't think it's worth my time to go through like the entire book. And that's kind of how I've like learned everything I've learned in my time as a data analyst. I learned like the minimum necessary to like understand what's going on. It's kind of like I learned to like walk, right? And then after I learn to walk, I'll figure out how to run. I'm not going to read books on running. I'll figure it out myself. But like the basic like skills, like the super basic skills, I make sure I learn those first. And after I learn those, then it's like, from there, I think it's more interesting to go see what you need to learn after that. So I'm not going to do the books anymore because, after a certain point, I think going through books doesn't really matter. You should go see what, you should go try and learn from various sources. But yeah. Let's see. It's logic. How much SQL and Excel do you use on a daily basis? I use both every single day. I use SQL to usually like obtain data. And I use Excel usually to just explore data very quickly. There's some operations that are much faster to do in Excel than in Python, in my opinion. So that's what I use Excel for. Edwin Miller. What degree did you get? Do most data analysts have similar degrees? I got a degree in chemistry. So there's a whole story about that. Basically, I said I was going to become a doctor and then like decided I didn't want to become a doctor. And I was stuck with a chemistry degree, which I, to this day, don't use. So that's kind of like just proof that you don't really need a specialized degree, especially at least as a bachelor's, in order to get into this field. Joan Fernandez. Hi, Shashank. Thanks for your work, man. Of course. Guy Thompson. I use SQL a lot. I save my queries to Excel to send to employees because they're usually familiar with that format. I also never use it for data manipulation besides pivot tables and a few other things. So yeah, basically what Guy says is more or less what I do with it too. I personally stray away from pivot tables only because they're very difficult to track. So like you can do a lot of stuff in pivot tables and then when you send it off to someone, have no idea what happened afterwards. So I try and keep my data manipulation, unless it's like literally just pivoting the data in Python or SQL or something like that. But everyone's workflow is different, and you'll usually just find the best one for the company you work at. Joan Fernandez, I have a question. I'm building a little team to offer data analysis services. I'm on the business side of it. I need 2 people. What attributes should I look for in those profiles? So Joan Fernandez, when you say you need 2 people, I'm guessing you mean technical people, right? The first thing I would check is find a way to conduct a technical interview on those people. You can even hire people on Upwork and Fiverr to help you conduct technical interviews if you don't know how to do them yourself. And I would make sure that technical competency is like the first thing that they have, because the worst thing that you can do is hire someone who says they know something but they don't actually know it very well, which happens a lot. Then after that, I would say go ahead and try and understand, how much detail those people need in order to execute on a task, because a lot of technical people, because they're the ones actually doing the moving of data and everything, they need a lot of detail in order to actually execute on their task. But if you get a unicorn, someone who's really good at what they do, usually they'll be able to ask you the right questions and figure out how to handle the problem themselves and then execute on that. And ideally you want to find someone like that. Although, you could always just be really good at the business side of it and really explain stuff very well to them. So let's see what we got. AN75, any chance of doing these live streams earlier? It's 1:30 a.m. here. So I actually do a Thursday morning one typically. I didn't do one yesterday because, Thursday was Veterans Day in the U.S., so I went and got drunk Wednesday night with some buddies, and I was just in no condition to be doing a live stream that early in the morning. But I will be sure to stay sober for next week, and Thursday morning we will have our live stream. Shankar Nath, are you an Indian-born person? So my parents were born and raised in India, and so yeah, I'm through them I'm Indian, but I was born and raised in the U.S. Miss you so much here. You moving to Seattle? Yeah, I'm already in Seattle. So we had the quick apartment tour. So for anyone that just joined, I'll give you guys the quick apartment tour. It's a small studio, but has everything I need. So front door, bathroom, and just the rest of the apartment. Very simple. As you can see, none of my furniture has arrived yet. So I just have my bed and that's about it. And I have a really nice view outside. I can't wait until the summer when it looks a lot better. We're in the middle of a Seattle winter right now, which is not amazing. Okay, Voshank and Sanka. Hi, Shashank. What course did you use to get started, and how did you get started? Thank you. So I kind of just learned everything myself. I will say I use the Kaggle course. Kaggle has an amazing course. So if you just have Kaggle Python course or something, here you go. So go to Kaggle, go to courses. They have an amazing Python course. They have amazing, everything they do. Their courses are probably the best I've ever seen because they're so concerned with just getting you to get coding and start doing stuff and teaching you the minimum you need to actually get started. So Kaggle courses are the best. And I actually kind of expanded on them. And on my YouTube channel, go look up my Python course, my SQL course, and my Tableau course. I have courses for all 3 of those. Shankar Nath, every expert wants a beginner, and according to me, every beginner needs an expert like you always. Cheers. Thank you so much. It's Logic. Could you explain a typical project that you would be asked to do for Nordstrom? Usually it's about understanding customers. It's generally about understanding customers. So for example, it'll be something along the lines of, we have a major sale going on. And we want to know either how effective that sale was. So incremental improvement is a really big thing that our team does, where it's how can we calculate what was the improvement in dollars as far as more units sold or something like that, that is attributable to a certain program or a certain sale. That's usually the type of project we'd be doing. Are you going to use the Windows version of Notion? I don't really like it, honestly. I think the Windows version of Notion is kind of trash, honestly. I have this PC and I'm not the biggest fan of it, although it's a lot better in this apartment. I realized that in my last apartment, the Wi-Fi card is not great on this Windows laptop. If you combine that with how bad the Wi-Fi was in the house I was in last, then you get a a pretty messy combination. But I'm actually planning on buying that new MacBook Pro 14-inch. So let me know if you guys want to see a video on that. Controversial question: do you think certain companies employ people from BAME communities to meet diversity? So I'm guessing Black, Asian, ME. No, I'm not really sure. But you said minority communities to meet diversity targets in their workplace. I don't think so. I've been on the other side of the whole hiring process, and it's like not something that's really considered. I think what companies do is they will make an extra effort to go like advertise jobs to minorities in the field. So one great example is like at Nordstrom, we have what we call ERGs, employee resource groups. So there's one for like Asian people, there's one for like Black people, there's one for Hispanic people. Anyone can join any of them, but basically it's like a Slack group where like they like host events. Like for Diwali, they host an event. For like Juneteenth, they'll like host an event, and it's just kind of like a group of like I wouldn't say like-minded, but like colored people, I don't know, people of similar ethnic origins, and of course all the Asians get stuff together. But it is in those groups, what happens is when a job is about to be posted, they will usually post it in those groups. So for example, in the Black ERG group, they'll like post the job saying, hey, like if anyone's interested, be sure to check out this thing. The idea is to get like more visibility into these jobs amongst minorities. But I would say large companies, there's probably not like this idea of like hiring like quotas of people. My understanding is it's usually about getting the word out that these jobs are available. All right, let's see. Edwin Cortez, thanks for always being so helpful and answering my question. Yeah, of course, man. M. Hugh, Seattle, does that mean Amazon? No, actually, I work for Nordstrom. So Nordstrom's a fashion retail company in one of the biggest ones in North America. So I work in Nordstrom Technology. Then they have data science and analytics and product management. So, yep. But I do live in I live in Belltown near South Lake Union. So like I can see the Amazon spheres from my apartment. So, in a way, we're all here for Amazon. Matt Dunn, what part of living in Seattle are you most excited for, not most excited for? I think the part I'm most excited for is the people I'll meet over here. Because it's such a heavy tech city, I'm excited to meet a bunch of like tech people. And because the city attracts a lot of young people specifically, like even in my apartment, the average age, just anecdotally the day I've been here, is like relatively low. So it's going to be cool to like just meet a lot of people my age doing these types of jobs. So that's what I'm excited for. What am I not excited for? Honestly, like just seeing seeing how bad wealth inequality is becoming in the country. I think in Seattle you get a front row seat to that problem, and you get to really see how bad wealth inequality is becoming in the United States, where there are a certain group of people who are able to become wealthier and wealthier, and there's another group of people who are just not like they aren't given the tools, they're not equipped with the tools to like advance in society. And you see like the worst aspects of that in Seattle, because you'll see all these like wealthy tech people, which I mean I would very much put myself as a part of that group. And then at the same time, there's this and you see all the wealth that like creates, and like the buildings are super nice, the streets are clean, everything's nice and fancy. But then like you'll see homeless people like just all over the place, and like people like just on drugs in the middle of the sidewalk. People like injecting themselves in the middle of the sidewalk. So I think getting a front row seat to America's like inequality disaster, I'd call it, is probably the worst part about being in Seattle. But overall, I'm very excited to be here. All right. Is there any age limit to doing an MS in the USA? No, you can be any age and get an MS. Zach Gilbert, I'm considering a master's of data science and saw that Eastern University offers a master of data science for $9K. How do I decide if a program will add enough value for me to pursue it? So the thing is, for $9K, it's very difficult for it not to add value. At the end of the day, if you spend $9,000 on this program and your salary, you're able to use that master's degree to increase your salary by $20K, which I mean, is very, very realistic. Then I think you have made your money back on the master's degree. So obviously look at the quality of the program. Usually you do that by like looking at rankings if you can find them, but more accurately by looking at the curriculum and seeing how good the curriculum in it is, and does it match what you're looking for. So that's what I would recommend. That being said, $9,000, like, I mean, you'd have a hard time not making your money back on that, I'd say, you know, unless the program's really just not that good at all. Paulo Lasso, or Liaso. Hey man, just finished my level 4 IT computing course yesterday. Congratulations, congratulations. Any tips on what course is best between software developer or software engineer? Honestly, I'm not really sure. I'm not a software developer or software engineer myself. I work in analytics, so I do apologize. I don't think I can answer that question. Although I will say, one thing I want to tell you guys about JP Morgan software internship. JP Morgan has this really interesting software internship where basically, or not, no, it's not an internship, it's a course. There we go, yeah. So it's like I think it's kind of like a course or something, but JP Morgan has this like what I'll just call a course where basically if you take it, then one, you'll learn a bunch of stuff, but then two, you'll also be, you'll have your job application prioritized, which to me, that's probably the biggest thing over here. As in like if you're looking to get a job with JP Morgan, like your application will be prioritized. So that is something I wanted to recommend to you guys. Let's see. Oh, hey, the fighter jet. Welcome, welcome. The editor, are data analysts predominantly on Windows OS, or are people on that Linux wave? Probably Windows, honestly. I do have one coworker who is on Linux, though. He loves it. He's on Arch Linux. Suyash Butola, what kind of projects do you think I should work on to build a resume? Projects that you like, I'd say. So Guy Thompson has exactly what I would have said. Basically, find out what you're interested in and do projects around that. I would start off with a data visualization project and then do a more advanced analysis project after that. Find a data set you're interested in. If you can pull it yourself, that's even better. So there's this like weird like knocking sound in my freezer. I'm trying to figure out what it is because it's really weird because like it actually sounds like someone's like tapping my door, which is just confusing, you know. All right, the fighter jet. How are you, Sean? What kind of videos can we expect to see from you in the future? So I'm working on a machine learning course right now, and that is probably the next big project I'm working on. Could you have any kind of degree and do MS data science program? Yes, that at least in the U.S. you can, yeah. M. Hugh, do you still get training on the job if you get a mid-career job in data science? Of course. Any reputable company will help get you trained, I would say. AM, downtown LA worse than the movie Soylent Green now. Really no kidding, food lines in front of my place. Yeah, no, it's unfortunate. Especially like LA is another one of those cities that it's like, you know, you see all this like this ostentatious wealth and then like, you know, a homelessness epidemic at the same time. And it's like, okay, well, you know, this doesn't seem particularly great. That is probably one thing I did like about Dallas. As far as I'm aware, Dallas didn't have a homelessness like a major problem with it. We have been, the number of homeless people in Dallas has been increasing. And I do live in the suburbs, so I might just have a really like warped view of it, honestly. But it is one thing I liked about the South a little bit better. Like, if those problems existed, they were less obvious, honestly. What else do we have? LOL, I'm about to finish my MSA in Villanova. It was $50K. Yeah, I mean, again, these degrees are really, really expensive. That actually, the $50K sounds more in line with what I'm like aware of, like master's programs costing. The editor said the JP Morgan course was pretty decent. Okay, I mean, I've never tried it before. It just sounded really cool. And the idea of having your application prioritized sounds awesome. Of course, AN75. BRTHRH husband. So birther husband? I don't know. What is the chance to get a job without a degree? Initially, I will go back to school, obtain a BS degree for data analytics when I want to work in industry, pay for school. Okay. So I'll be 100% honest. Getting a job without a degree is a very tall order. That being said, look up the Google data analytics certificate. It is a certificate that Google has that at least they say if you finish this, they'll look on equivalently to a bachelor's degree. So I would recommend looking into that. But I think you have the right headspace when you're saying like you're looking to get a BS. You will need one eventually, but that's probably one way to go about it. Abner Suarez Alves Jr. Hey, just arrived. Where can I get this link? So Abner, which link are you talking about? Congratulations, it's Halloween. Someone is there at the door. Funny. AN75, how does equity/stock options work as part of your total compensation? So I don't get paid equity or stock options. That's like very much a like tech company thing. Nordstrom offers what's called an employee stock purchase program, so ESPSS. Or ESPP, yeah, ESPP. Where basically we can buy Nordstrom stock at a discount. And if you're a director at Nordstrom, I think you get paid in some equity as well, but not someone at my level. But, you know, as you can tell, let's just look at, you know, Nordstrom's. As you can tell, you know, Nordstrom's, like, even at a 10% discount, I'm not really particularly looking forward to buying Nordstrom stock. Again, love the company, but the stock has nothing to write home about. So I don't participate in it because even at a 10% discount, I don't really care much for it. Hey, what's up, Shashank? I did an interview today. It's a paid data internship, and I asked to describe a product that they had a bomb explaining it. Do you think that looks bad? That's a tough one. It depends on how well you did in all the other parts of the interview, honestly. How did you get the stats on your Chrome homepage? Are you using Chrome? No, I'm using Brave. Oh, yeah, of course. Let's see. Copy. There you go. So Abner Suarez Alves Jr., I sent over the link on the chat over there. And AN75, it's Brave is the thing I'm using. The editor. Every city has its problems around the world. I think if you have a load of projects that could be useful, you definitely get a role with that a degree. Yep. Yeah, I mean, you know, again, you got to take the good with the bad at the end of the day. Again, like the amount of like talent and stuff over here for tech work is awesome, and there's a reason I moved here. You know, I was very aware of the homelessness issue, and I still decided to move here. So, you know, as you can say, overall, I probably wanted to be here. Like, I'm from India, so how will I know about universities in the USA, UK, Germany, or any other country? How will I get my only true suggestions about them? Honestly, I'm not really sure. I never grew up in India, so that's a difficult question for me to understand or to answer. Is Brave better than Chrome? I think so, because it has a lot of anti-tracking features, which make going around the internet a lot more private and keeps your information like with you. So I like it a lot better. And as you can see, like, I mean, it has these like stats on like, you know, the amount of like bandwidth it saves you, the trackers and ads it blocks. And I don't even use this computer that much. On the computer I use like a lot. You'll see it saved like 4 hours of loading time. So, you know, I think it can even be more drastic as time goes on. So I'd say probably just given the amount of time it saves you, yeah, probably. All right, guys, any final questions? I'm going to be calling it quits sometime soon. Wow, it's getting dark already. Yeah, it's 6 o'clock. It's already pitch black outside. I wonder if I can go outside right now. I'm not really sure what to do because I don't have like a chair. So I can't like comfortably sit in my apartment. Yep, Jeremy, right? Brave. I like it a lot better than Chrome. Chrome has gotten really bloated and like heavy and like hard to use. I will say one thing. If you guys haven't already, make sure you like this video. It's a great way of showing the YouTube algorithm that like my videos are videos that people like watching. I see we have like 4 likes. Let's see if we can pump those numbers up a little bit. Yeah, Chrome uses up so much RAM. It's insane. Especially on Macs. Chrome is so bad on Macs. I've heard great things about Microsoft Edge as well, yeah. Yeah, of course, guys. I will be heading out soon. Make sure to like the video. But thank you guys so much for joining, and be on the lookout for more videos. Have a great day, guys. Do you get YouTube ads on Brave? I'm not too sure because I pay for YouTube Premium, so I'm not sure. Yes, Suhad John Torn. Hit me up on Twitter or on Instagram, and give me some places. That is my Twitter and Instagram. It's the same thing for both. All right, guys. Thank you.